Hey loves, and welcome back for today's journal session series, episode 27. This is an interactive series where we journal together and I offer you time and space to write out your answers. These journal prompts are for mental health, so they will really help us in releasing certain emotions, expressing ourselves, and just finding new ways to cope with our mental health in a positive way. So grab your pen and a journal and let's get into it. So the first question is, what emotion have you felt the most strongly today and why? So whenever I do my daily journal prompts, I always start out by writing out my emotions and just doing a self check-in, writing about how I'm feeling that day, write about my mood, what's going on. And this really helps me to center myself as well as to understand what my emotions are trying to show me. I notice that even sometimes I'll have a reoccurring emotion that I don't always understand as to why I keep feeling that emotion. So say for example, you get a reoccurring emotion of sadness or loneliness or anger, frustration. This is why I like to write these things out, because once I write it out, I can at least acknowledge that I'm feeling this emotion and then get to the bottom of why I'm feeling that way. So I'll start writing about certain things that happened maybe within the past week or something that I experienced within that day. And it helps me to better understand where the emotion is coming from so that I can release it. Our emotions can tend to linger sometimes, which is why you may notice that something may happen and you forget all about the situation, but then the same emotion comes back up later on. So it's really important to make sure that you are actually analyzing these emotions and you are bringing attention to the emotion. I really used to be in a space of fearing my emotions, especially because I would feel them so strong. And at that time, it felt like it was too much to take a deeper look into my emotions and to identify them. But as I overcame that fear, I realized that feeling your emotions doesn't necessarily have to be scary or dreadful. And it's great too, because the more that you get into the habit of feeling these emotions, the faster that you'll be able to start working through them. So when you notice that a feeling such as anger or sadness or loneliness or depression comes up, then you start getting into a better flow of allowing the feeling to come, feeling that emotion, and then releasing it. And this really helps you to stay in a healthier cycle of your emotions. So the next one is to write about a recent change in your lifestyle that has improved your mental health. And if you haven't added a recent change to your lifestyle, what could you add that will help to improve your mental health? Lately, I've been trying to change the way that I do everything, and even when it comes down to the products that I use, whether it's in my lotions, my makeup, even clothes, I've noticed that some of these materials in these clothing are really not good for our skin and we shouldn't even be wearing them. But it is a little bit hard to maintain a certain healthier lifestyle because that means that you're going to have to switch to products that are either more costly or hard to find. But I've really been doing my research on healthier products and things that just don't have as many toxic ingredients as well. When it comes to my skincare, when it comes to makeup, even when it comes to the nail polish that I use, hair products, I've really been getting into using things that have more natural ingredients. And especially when it comes to the foods that we eat, because a lot of that does take a toll on our mental health and our physical health as well. So you have to be careful about what it is that you're consuming. And that's physically, but as well as the things that you watch on a day-to-day basis. Even with that, I've been trying to be a bit careful and conscious about the things that I am watching, that I am allowing to be embedded into my subconscious. And once you just start to switch out things one by one, little by little, you don't necessarily have to make a dramatic lifestyle change, but just taking the time to be more conscious about the things that you use, it does make a big difference on your mental health, your physical health, your well-being, your energy levels, your mindset, and just your overall confidence even. So if you do notice that you tend to be in a very bad mood often, or you tend to have very low energy, look at the habits that you have and the type of lifestyle that you are living. Are you constantly scrolling on your phone? Are you constantly looking at a computer screen? Are you always sitting down? Do you get up and exercise? Are you eating healthy foods? Are you consuming too much sugar? All of this stuff really goes into your mental health and how you feel. So make sure that you're cutting back on the things that you know are negatively affecting you so that you can make room for healthier and better lifestyle changes. Next one is to describe a time recently when you felt unexpectedly emotional. So I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this, but this happens pretty often for me. And I noticed that it's either two things. Either it's something that I'm thinking about that is still bothering me deep down inside, that it just randomly comes up to my mind, or it'll be an overwhelming feeling of just nostalgia of me thinking about certain things that I've overcome, or just certain things that I experienced, certain people I've met, certain things that I enjoyed in my life. I don't know, it's just a random thing that happens at times. But when I do feel these random bouts of emotions, I just take a time to stop and be present and just remind myself that despite whatever it is that I'm feeling, I'm here and I'm grateful for the things that I've overcome. I'm grateful for the things that I'm working towards and for who I am today and the things that I do have in my life, because sometimes it's a really good moment to stop and just reflect on what you are happy for, what you're grateful for, what makes you happy. And even when I don't understand why I'm getting emotional, I just allow myself to move through those feelings. I don't get upset. I don't try to always figure it out, because sometimes it's not even our energy. Sometimes it's just other people's energy being projected onto us. And if it is a case where you end up randomly thinking about something that happened that you felt you were over or you just can't seem to move past, these are the moments that you really have to be patient with yourself and caring to yourself, because this is all a part of the healing journey. There's going to be times when you've come so far and you think that you're letting things go. You think that you've moved past something, and then you find one day that it's still lingering there. And that's normal. So I want to let you guys know that that is completely normal. It's all a part of the process. There's been times when I was just 100% sure within myself that I was over something, just for me to get triggered and for that same feeling or emotion to come back up. So make sure that you are being patient with yourself and that you are pouring into yourself, that you are loving on yourself and practicing your self-care. And just know that healing does take time. It's not an overnight process. But do know that there will come a day where you will be completely free from this experience and emotion. And I say that because I went through certain things in my life that I would have never seen myself overcoming. I didn't think I would overcome it, that I would ever let it go. And sitting here today, I've overcome so much. All of the things, especially, that I didn't think I could. So stay strong and hang in there and trust the process. Something that I noticed also affected my mental health was me being stuck in my comfort zone. And it's kind of interesting in the way that this happened, because for me personally, I always knew that there were certain things that I wanted to try or that I wanted to do. And because I lacked confidence at that time, or I just wasn't as sure of myself, it really stopped me from doing a lot of the things that I wanted to do, which created a internal conflict. I would definitely say that stepping out of your comfort zone does help to better your mental health in many ways. One of them being that it will help you to improve your confidence and self-esteem and your beliefs in yourself as well, and what you're capable of. So I always try to do even little things that help me to step outside of my comfort zone. And another way that this has really helped me, especially mentally, was expanding my knowledge and learning about certain topics that I never really thought that I would have learned or taken an interest into, because that helped me see things from a different perspective and it really opened up my mind. And so it started helping me to learn about things that would help to improve my mental health, my physical health, spiritual health. And I feel a lot of people get stuck in this comfort zone mentally, especially with all the things that they believed and that they thought were to be true. But what it does is it kind of keeps you in a box, and it keeps you from learning about things that will potentially help to enhance your life, because you're so used to thinking only one way. And fear is definitely one of the greatest illusions. Fear does not actually exist. So once you actually do start stepping out of your comfort zone and doing these things that you never really thought were possible for you, you start to see that it was all a mental thing. It was a mental box that you confided in and you kept yourself bound to. So make sure that you're taking risks, because some of those things that are outside of your comfort zone are the key to you living the life that you want and just becoming the person that you want to be. So the next question is, how do you react when you are angry, and how can you respond better? This one is a big one because I see so many people projecting their emotions, especially when it comes to anger, onto other people because they do not know how to control their emotions. So it's really important to make sure that you have a healthy way that you can release that anger. So I'm going to give you guys a great example. For me personally, it takes a lot for me to get angry. I don't get angry often, honestly, but in my past, I did because of certain trauma and certain things that I experienced. So what I would do is whenever I would feel that I was angry, I would paint on a canvas because I used to paint. I still do at times, but it's a great way for me to channel my emotions. So I would just paint in whatever colors I was feeling at that moment. I would paint red on the canvas. I would paint blue on the canvas. And whenever I was done painting it, I would punch through the canvas to get the rest of that anger out. Now, I wouldn't paint something like super intricate, of course, because I'm not going to take all that time just to ruin the painting. But it was a really great way for me to channel my anger, but in a healthy way, instead of taking it out on somebody else or lashing out or doing something that I could possibly regret later on. And I even love that now we have rage rooms. You literally have a whole place where you can just release all of that energy. You can smash things, break things, scream, yell, and you don't have to worry about taking out your anger on somebody else and harming someone else or harming yourself even. So find healthy ways to channel that anger because there's so many different options out there. You can go and smash a pumpkin. You can go and write on a paper and rip it after. You can go somewhere quiet and just scream to the top of your lungs. You can punch your pillow. You can take kickboxing. There's free ways as well as ways that you would have to pay. So make sure that you're just getting it out in a productive and healthy way because you don't want to make the mistake of doing something that you'll later on regret just because of a temporary emotion. Next one is to list 5 qualities that you admire about yourself and why. I definitely had to add this one to the list of prompts today because this one is so important. You have to make sure that you are constantly bigging up yourself, that you are admiring yourself, that you are focusing on your strengths, your abilities, what you love about yourself, and start showing more love to who you are because a lot of the times we get so stuck in comparison and it'll cloud your judgment so much to the point where you don't even see all of the amazing attributes about yourself. So really take your time with this one and really show out and show love for yourself because that is so important. Make sure that you are saying your daily affirmations, that you are speaking kind things to yourself, and that you are your number one supporter and that you are giving yourself the love that you need and deserve, despite if anybody else is doing that for you. The next one is to write about a time you felt misunderstood. I wanted to add this one because there's been many times in my life, especially growing up in school and just trying to meet new people, where I just really felt misunderstood. And a big sign that I want to let you guys know, whether it's in a relationship, a friendship, family, whatever your situation is, it's going to be different for everyone. If you are feeling misunderstood around a certain group of people, those are definitely not your people. It's really a big sign that the people that you're around are not meant for you. And there were many times where I wanted so bad to just be seen and heard and understood and accepted. Now that I've healed, I do not try to fit in. I go where I'm accepted, I go where I'm understood and where I'm felt. And if I'm in a position to where I don't feel that I'm being understood or I feel that I'm just not aligned with somebody, I release that connection. So you have to understand that your people will find you. You will meet like-minded people and you will meet people that will understand you and see you for who you are. And that's another reason as to why I created this channel as well, because I wanted to create a safe space for people that feel misunderstood and unheard to feel seen and to have a safe place to be themselves, to express themselves, and to not feel like they're alone. Last but not least, what does happiness mean to you? Make sure that your definition of happiness is unique to you and what you feel aligns with you spiritually, because society will try to push out all of these narratives on what happiness looks like, what success looks like, and it'll feed your mind with honestly BS. Because at the end of the day, what makes you happy is going to look so different from other people. What makes you successful and what you find and deem to be success is going to look different from everybody else. So do not allow society and the media to try and control how you view success and happiness. As you get older, you really do realize that the most important things in life are free, and that's your peace, your happiness, your well-being, and just freedom in general. And those are things that you cannot put a price tag on. So with that being said, my loves, just do what makes you happy. Do what brings you joy and what really illuminates your spirit, and follow that, because too many people out here are chasing the wrong things and just getting lost in the sauce. And if nobody's told you today, I love you guys very, very, very much. And I'm so grateful that you joined me today for this journal session. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Subscribe to stay tuned for more. I do these every Friday, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out and much love.